What's up, everybody? Hope you're having an awesome day. Just as promised, we're going to go over a Latios Raid Boss Guide and a Latias Raid Boss Guide from the Pokemon Go Hub. Some of my fellow coworkers previously wrote some Raid Boss Guides, and for those that are wondering where are some guides and stuff, articles that I've written, I am slammed with school, but I have written a couple guides and articles that will be coming out as time passes. I just haven't been writing a lot of articles over current things. So keep your eyes out. Some of my articles will be coming out sooner rather than later. But going on with it, Latios. Latios is accessible right now on the western half of the world, North America, Canada, Mexico, South America, and I believe even parts of Africa. But let's dive into it. We've got 2082 CP for 100%. That's the magic number. And 2303 for weather boosted. That is the magic number. They say they recommend 6 to 7 players. You can get it with 6. Actually, even possibly 5 if you have the right weather and the right moves you're going up against Latios. But here are some of the best raid counters. Now, Rayquaza is by far the best raid counter you could possibly use. Rayquaza deals the most damage. It deals more than Dragonite and Salamence here. But if you have a good team of Rayquazas, you're already set. Now, let's also go over the weaknesses of Latios has. It's Bug, Dark, Fairy, Dragon, Ghost, and Ice. And there's a lot of good Pokemon that we currently have to combat that. Again, Rayquaza with Dragon-tail Outrage, Dragonite, Dragon-tail Outrage, Salamence, Dragon-tail, Draco Meteor. You can even use Latios. Tyranitar with Bite and Crunch. Crunch does slightly outperform Stone Edge in this instance, and you can use it a little bit more often. You might be able to get 3 to 4 crunches off before you get a maybe 2 Stone Edges off. So you can deal a little bit more damage to Crunch than you can Stone Edge. Mewtwo is not a bad option because Shadow Ball does a ton of damage. Scizor is always a good choice. It combats the Dragon moves and the Psychic moves because of its Steel typing. Gyarados with Bite and Outrage. Actually, this should say Dragon-tail and Outrage if you have one. So I guess I'm probably actually going to have to go in there and change that. You want Dragon-tail and Outrage for Gyarados. Or even if you want to go for a throwback even more, Dragon Breath and Outrage. Dragon Tail and Dragon Breath are both legacy moves for Gyarados, which probably explains why this says Bite, but I'm going to have to go back and check it and turn it into Dragon Tail. So, because that was more widely available before Dragon Breath was. And then, of course, Articuno with Frost Breath and Ice Beam makes sense. Gardevoir, Confusion, Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam is going to do super effective damage, but I wouldn't really recommend using a Gardevoir. Now, Gengar with Shadow Claw. See, okay, this doesn't make sense. Shadow Claw is a legacy move, so I'm definitely going to change the Bite to Dragon Tail. Must have been some kind of issue or thought process behind there, which that's fine. I'm an editor as well, so I'll probably be editing this article. But yes, Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Gengar absolutely melts Latios and Latios. So that's a very good choice. And then Absol with Snarl and Dark Pulse wouldn't be too bad either. It's a glass cannon just like Gengar. Now, what are some of the moves that Latios can have? Well, Dragon Breath as a fast move, which is a gorgeous fast move, by the way. Absolutely, probably the best fast move in the game, closely rivaling Water Gun. Water Gun's really nice. I guess Bite is too. And then we got Zen Headbutt, which is not a bad Psychic fast move, but this is where it lacks in Psychic charge moves is, well, Psychic. Psychic's not a very good move as opposed to Future Sight. Dragon Claw, a coveted charge bar move that's extremely fast. You can do 150 damage really quickly. 3 bars, 50 damage. You can dish out the Dragon Claws in only 1.9 seconds. Very phenomenal. And then Solar Beam. That's just kind of, that's just a random move that apparently Latios can learn in the main series game. So, let's see. With that being said, the following setup is recommended to counter it versus Solar Beam, get Rayquaza. So they give you some options on how you could counter these. I will link these articles in the description as well if you happen to forget, and you can check them. These are pretty good teams, but let's go over some additional counters for some people that might not have access or have all those Pokemon powered up and whatnot, but have these ones. Mew with Dragon Tail and Dazzling Gleam would be the best, or maybe Dragon Tail and Dragon Claw. It's up to you. You can really change your Mew's movesets to covet what you want. And then Bandit with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball. Of course, this moveset right here, fam. just absolutely melts. Shadow Claw is amazing. Lugia with Dragon Tail and Sky Attack, actually that's going to deal some normal damage. Dragon Tail being super effective, Sky Attack being buffed now and doing normal damage. Slowbro with Confusion and Ice Beam, that's an interesting one. Lapras with the Ice moveset, Jinx with the Ice moveset. Cloyster, obviously. Kingdra is a good one. Kingdra has some decent stats, especially if you have 100% IV. Granbull, and now here's a notable mention. Armaldo actually has a use in the game. Yes, Armaldo. Armaldo has a pretty high attack stat, especially compared to a lot of these Pokemon right here. I'm surprised Armaldo hasn't been added to this list, but I'm showing you guys now. And you'll want Bug Bite, I believe, or no, Fury Cutter. You're gonna want Fury Cutter, and you're gonna want Rock Blast. Now, Rock Blast isn't a terribly good move, but Armaldo will definitely be able to deal some pretty good damage with that Fury Cutter, and then using Rock Blast will deal some decent damage too. The thing is Armaldo will resist those Psychic type moves, and I know a North is quite common for a lot of you guys out there, a lot of you trainers. So having a powerful Armaldo will actually be a good chance to actually use against a Latios or a Latias. Is it the best option by any means? No, not at all. But is it a decent option? Without a doubt. So I definitely wanted to throw that in there for Latios and Latias raids. Now let's go to Latias. Latias, we got 1929 is the magic number for no weather boost, and 2412 is the magic number for a weather boost. Now it says a minimum of 4 to 5 players. I find that interesting because Latias has a higher defense than Latios, but I would probably stick with 5, same as Latios. You might be able to do it 4 if... Well, I'll have to see. I haven't looked on YouTube to see if you can do it with 4. But the counters are going to remain the same, believe it or not. It's weak to the same types: Bug, Dark, Fairy, Dragon, Ghost, and Ice. Anything that you're going to use against Latios, you can use against Latias. I noticed that, look, Gyarados isn't in here with Dragon Tail and Outrage. Interesting. But, hey, Flygon has a use, because it has Dragon Tail and Dragon Claw. There's that move. Dragon Claw, very coveted move. If you want to use a Flygon, have some fun. Throw Flygon in the raid. You got to give it some uses. For those wondering, why would you use a Flygon at all? Actually, the only use Flygon has is having a ground type moveset against fire types. But we've already done an article over that. You could check that on the GoHub. So, what moves does Latias have? Well, Dragon Breath, Zen Headbutt, Psychic, Outrage. This is where Latias doesn't outperform Latios, but has a better move set than Latios. And it's Outrage. Outrage, of course, being a 2-bar charge move, doing 110 damage a pop, which means 220 damage in one fell swoop. So, but again, Latias doesn't outperform Latios, but it just closed the gap. When Niantic changed Dragon Claw to Outrage, it closed the gap between the differerences of their DPS calculations. So, Latias, not the best, not better than Latios, but viable because of that move. Now, where's some additional counters? Oh, see, look! Gyarados with Bite or Dragon Tail Outrage. Isn't that hilarious? Mew, of course, pretty much all the same ones, and of course, Armaldo again. But there you have it, guys. There's a guide with my input, what I think. The moves that are chosen are definitely some good moves. Shadow Claw rips, but with so many easy counters against these Pokemon, honestly, just go with your favorite or go with your most powerful ones, because it's going to be hard to battle out trying to get as most damage balls as you possibly can, because a lot of these Pokemon, a lot of people have access to, especially with the Dratini event and Dragonites. It really is no competition anymore with these legendaries, Latias and Latios. Just use your most powerful Pokemon you have, because everyone has access to these powerful Pokemon. So trying to get that one extra damage ball doesn't really mean anything. It's going to be hard to do. So if anything, my advice is raid with your fellow teams so you can get those extra team damage balls, and then you might luck out and get the same amount of regular personal damage balls. But other than that, guys, do your best, go out there, get that Latias if you're on the eastern half of the world, or get that Latios if you're on the western half of the world. If this guide helped you out, make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, let me know if you guys have gotten either one of these legendary Eon Duo Pokemon, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm signing off, I'll see you guys in the next Pokemon Go video.